Welcome to another V-Connecting session. Today we're going to talk about being an on-site buddy for a conference, and we are talking to Sheila. We'll do introductions in a minute about being an on-site buddy for the first time. And we'll go ahead and do our introductions. So my name is Wendy Tallio and I'm hosting this session today. I'm a learning technologist based in Central Australia. And if Maha, did you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Maha Bailey. I'm the co-director of Virtually Connecting, and I'm here at the American University in Cairo in Egypt, helping out answer questions from Sheila about her event.
Hi, and I'm Sheila McNeil. I'm a senior lecturer at Glasgow Caledonian University in Glasgow, Scotland. And I'm just finding out about onboarding things, so I'm looking forward. This is going to be very useful for me today.
Great. All right, well, I'm going to do a screen share of a slide that we have prepared and used to explain it, but it'll be good to run through it today. So let me get that up for you.
So just so people know, Sheila has already contacted me, letting me know that there's an event she's interested in doing Virtually Connecting at, and she has joined our Slack channel, and so she's now part of the team, and now we're helping her plan for her event. And so Wendy will kickstart that.
So I think this slide particularly outlines the who, when, where, how. And so the top line is that the OB, so the on-site buddy is yourself, Sheila. And in this case, it could be the on-site buddy or perhaps a virtual buddy that reaches out to potential guests. So the guests are the people that we're going to talk to. And an example is the keynote speakers or other people at the conference that the virtuals would like to talk to, for example. So somebody that can't get there wants to talk to somebody at the conference. So it's a matter of reaching out and connecting with those people. So the planning for other guests can also emerge during the conference or as the conference approaches, I should say, because there is a little bit of planning in the background to make sure that we've got Hangouts set up and available. The time when you're going to meet the guest and chat to it is really picking a time that works for everyone. So typically it might be a morning tea break, it could be a lunch break, or it could be some other time in between sessions when the people are available to get together. Now the where usually changes per conference. I mean, if ideally the conference may offer a room for Virtually Connecting, otherwise it's really the on-site buddy's job to search out a suitable area, and suitable means usually a quiet environment and one that's got the tech. So you may need power or you may need decent Wi-Fi you will need decent Wi-Fi in that area. And the planning documents, so in this case we've already created the starting of the planning document, and that's going to be used to set down the times, who we're going to talk to, who the virtual buddy is, and other on-site people that might want to come along as well. So Sheila, did you have any questions about this one before we go on to the next slide?
No, that all seems pretty clear, and we're kind of there. We've got a room and Wi-Fi. I've spoken to the organisers, so really just now I'm just kind of thinking about who we're going to invite, but hopefully today and tomorrow I can do that. But again, that's just a really useful recap of the process.
Cool. All right, well, I'm just going to skip through. You have access to these anyway, and you can read it as your leisure. But Maha might want to go into this one about the on-site buddy's task running the conversation.
Okay, I'm just going to say something quickly about the choice of guests, and I think Sheila froze, so I'm just going to, could you DM her and ask her to try to come back again? I'll just speak to that. I was going to say that it's useful to have more than one guest in a session. It's useful for them to have a conversation with each other. Sometimes they answer, oh, Sheila's back, okay. Sometimes it's useful to have more than one guest together, hopefully harmonious. So not like 5 men and 1 woman, but maybe like 2 or 3 people who are already working together or who might have an interesting conversation together. And it also means that you do fewer sessions, so that's less work for the on-site buddy, less work for virtual people, and less difficulty to get virtual participants. it's like a one-day event, like 1 or 2 sessions with 2 or 3 guests, which was probably a good idea. And we try as much as possible to aim for diversity if it's possible. So, and not necessarily all of them have to be very high-profile people, but it's of course useful to have some high-profile people in there. Okay, and then the part about running the actual conversation on site. So by this time we will have, and before the conference starts, we will have announced on our blog the sessions and their times and invited people to participate, and someone else will be taking care of getting people signed up virtually. So the Onsite Buddy doesn't need to worry about that. You just need to know who your virtual buddy is, be in contact with them, whether on Slack or whatever, and the virtual buddy will send you an email with the link on the day. And just then you don't need to worry about location, but you do need to communicate with the on-site guests, make sure they know where. That nobody is passing behind the camera unintentionally, getting on the live stream, because some people don't want that. And then you're just facilitating the conversation on site and just making sure that, you know, virtual folks get a chance to ask questions and things like that in virtually connecting sessions. So I think that second part on site you're probably quite familiar with. And just, I think the 2 things that I would suggest is have a backup internet connection to use. So if it's your own country and you can use your own data, in case the Wi-Fi doesn't work, that's useful if you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection. But of course, if the conference are offering it, that's great. And just have a backup device just in case, again, and make sure your Hangout plugin is updated or the app is updated on your phone.
No, I think that's all quite clear again, Maha, and because we're at a university, hopefully we'll get a stable internet connection. I have asked for a quiet room or a quieter room, and I think with the time we've chosen that should work. And I think I might know the room they might allow us to use. So if my laptop doesn't work, there's machines in there that we could use. I guess the thing I'm still working on is who to include on site, because I don't know who's exactly going to be there, but I know that there are a few people coming from mainland Europe, and I would quite like to get some of those voices heard as well. So I might make some decisions actually next week, but you know, obviously have a few people that I'll speak to before as well. But yeah, and it has helped actually having that experience at OER 17, because before then I had no idea what was involved. So I'm much more relaxed about it, because it's a lot more informal than I thought it was going to be. But obviously the planning makes it that way, because if we plan things, then it makes it seem easy for everyone. So yeah, that's really useful.
And I would also add to that to have a back channel, like a agreed back channel with your virtual buddy. So if you're going to be running 5 minutes late, or if you need to change devices or something like that, that you've got somebody that can, if it's the Slack channel, fine. If it's Twitter DM or just Twitter, then agree that beforehand, because just speaking up from my own experience as virtual buddy, it really helps if you've got that agreed back channel. And if you had a virtual buddy in your own time zone, for example, you could also be texting or, you know, making a phone call as a backup option if you needed to.
And just 2 things. One of them is, if you're using devices you don't necessarily know ahead of time if they have mics, they'll probably have audio, but if they're like a classroom, they might not have a mic in, so you need a turn mic. I wouldn't necessarily rely on those to have that. And also just keep in mind that if you don't have an external mic, people might need to huddle closer to the laptop so that they can get heard well. And then the other thing is, yeah, it's great to make some spontaneous decisions about who gets to be on sessions. That's a great thing. If you want, there's an article, or you could just share the Virtually Connecting /About Us page with people to let them know what Virtually Connecting is if they've never heard of it. So what would be nice is if you, right now we have, I think in your conference, 1 session planned. If you could just have like 1 person that's definitely committed to it, that won't bail on us, and then say the rest will be decided closer to the time. And if you know at any point who they are, we'll announce it earlier, so that, because sometimes virtual people, you know, gravitate towards particular people, but it's always nice to have new people that we didn't know about and listen to them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I definitely have 1 person. And again, I just want to see, I'm just aware of the diversity. So the people that I've been most in contact with around about this, we're quite a homogenous group, shall I say. So I just want to try and do that. And you know, I'm thinking of some you know, maybe some virtual people that we can bring in as well. But that's really helpful about the backup channel as well. I hadn't actually thought about that. I was thinking about the mic that had slipped out of my mind, but again, I'll email Keith about that, because I think we can get that there, and I might be able to bring something as well. But that's again, yeah, just all these top tips, really, really useful.
Great. Is there anything else I think you might want to know, or does Wendy want to add anything?
That's all I can think of for now. So if you're okay with that, we can stop the broadcast.
Yeah.